Okay, for number 12, they want us to find the cube roots. So it says use your calculator as needed and round any decimal answers to the nearest hundredth. Identify each answer as rational or irrational. So what I'd prefer to do instead of rounding to the nearest hundredth is to approximate using the method that we learned with square roots. It's the same method, right? So if we take our calculator, right, and we take the cubed root of 1,728, this comes out to 12 exactly. So no need to estimate what the decimals would be. To check this, right, if you didn't have a calculator, you'd have to say, okay, it was, let's see, 10 times 10 is 100 times 10 is 1,000, so it's greater than 10. And then you would just go and try, right? So we'd say, oh, how about 11, right? 11 squared is 121. And then times 11 again to cube it, right, would be 121. 121 would be 1331. So that's too low. So then we tried 12, right? And 12 squared is 144, right? And then times 12 again, right, would be 8, 8, 2, 1, 4, 4, 8, 2, carry the 1, 7, 17, 28, and we'd get it to be 12. Again, with no calculator, you'd be forced to do that. For the next one, for B, so let me make some room here, right? For B, so this A was 12, right? For B, 54, so we have to determine what it's between, right? So the cube root of 54, cubed root. We have to learn our cubed roots, right? So the cube root closest to that, below 54, is going to be 27, right? Which is 3 cubed. And then to the right of that would be 4 cubed, which is 64. 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64. So we know it's between 3 and 4, right? The cubed roots of those numbers, right? Cube root of 27. So it's 3 and some percentage or some fraction. So again, we take the 54 minus 27, and we take that over the whole length, 64 minus 27. So that becomes 3 and 27, right? 54 minus 27 is 27. And 64 minus 27 is 30. 30 would be 57. And 37, right? 37 is 64. And then you make sure you can't simplify that, and you cannot, so that would be the answer to B. If you just typed it in your calculator, you would just get 3.7 rounded, 7 to 8, right? If you round to the nearest hundredth. And the last one, C, and just to be sure, for the first, it said identified as rational or irrational. This is rational, right, for A. And B, this number, the cube root, the exact number is irrational. Rational. Remember, this is just an estimate, right? So the cube root of 54 is irrational number. But the estimate is rational, but the original cube root is irrational. And now the C, again, if we type that in, the cubed root of 0.125, that comes out to 0.5. And 0.5 is a rational number, right? It could be written as 1/2, right? And we're done those.